Hey, you're listening to Don't Lie to Your Life Coach podcast with Kim Arrington. I'm Kim Arrington. I'm a life coach, a weight loss coach, an author, and a badass passionate about helping you connect back to your most authentic self. Join me here each week so I can coach you on how to think all those juicy thoughts that get you feeling your absolute best and taking some big ass action. Coaching has changed my life, and it can change your life too. I'm here to give you real life solutions to create a life you'll love. Because the truth is, boo, you ain't just got problems, you got options. Hey. You all. Hello, you all. I am doing something different today. I am going to record. I've worked on this concept for this podcast. I'm actually excited. This might end up being my all-time favorite podcast. This is something I've really been working on myself. You all know that part of the reason why you hire a coach, part of the reason why you come back every week is that I'm going to do some of the heavy lifting for you so that you don't have to. And it's my absolute joy to bring you ways to develop yourself and to love your life even more. And this one, y'all, I might have knocked it out the park on this one. So we're going to be talking about how to let go and throw out your plan B today. If this doesn't work, then this will work, that will work. And I am going to do something I've never done before, which is record 2 episodes back to back about that. And I'm going to release them one after the other. Let's see how my brain plays. I'm going to give my brain no plan B. Okay. I love this idea of no plan B because I think that this is the absolute key to the success you want. And I'm going to be honest with you. I think some of this was inspired by, you all know I've been working through the book 12-Week Year. I am such a huge fan. And 12-Week Year kind of hammers you with being committed and accountability and not giving yourself a way out. And it has literally up-leveled my life. Read that book. I'm sitting here thinking I should have done a YouTube series on it, and I may end up doing it, but I want you to experience what I'm experiencing, which is my complete and total presence. Also, I'm recording this because I have worked my assy off this week, and this seems like a kind way for me to knock out 2 amazing podcasts in one go. So let's get started. I want to talk to you first about when I was growing up, I loved Janet Jackson. Loved the Jacksons. Just watched, what is it called? The Greatest Night in Pop History. Got to Michael Jackson part, was crying, listening to his voice and his attention to detail and his dedication to the making. It was pretty much like a documentary about the making of We Are the World. I can say so much. I love Lionel Richie. Lionel Richie is like the world's golden retriever of music. He was so instrumental, pun intended, into making We Are the World happen, was a co-writer on the song, him and Michael Jackson. Quincy Jones, brilliance, just so much collaboration, so much amazement. But let me tell you why I loved it. It was really echoing this podcast today. Go to Netflix, go watch it. They had one night to get this song that was basically responding to the huge humanitarian and hunger crisis in Ethiopia. And if you grew up in the 80s, you remember that. You remember seeing that, those pictures that were seared in our memories of the suffering of our neighbors, right? And we are in a world community. So when I say our neighbors, everyone is our neighbor. Everyone is our neighbor. So what I love and why this is so good for this episode is they were trying to figure out how to get all these celebrities in one place at one night, and someone came up with a brilliant idea of doing it after the American Music Awards. Now, I used to watch that. I saw the moonwalking. I saw this particular American Music Awards because Lionel Richie, who I loved, hosted it, and he kept saying outrageous during it. And they had one shot. There was no plan B. It was a plan A all the way, and it worked out. They recorded all night. I mean, y'all, can I tell you something about Bruce Springsteen? Now, I always love Bruce Springsteen, but honey, when I heard him do his vocals on We Are the World, he swallowed like 500 black men. I mean, he had been on his Born in the USA tour, and man, oh man, his voice, gravel, amazing, wonderful, loved it. And he's still so stinking cute, y'all. Goodness gracious. I was like, yummy, yummy when I was looking at the show. Also, Huey Lewis, total babe. I mean, I don't know. It's such an incredible documentary. Harry Belafonte, who helped to inspire it, and they just went for it. They went for it. And that's how I want you to think about your plan A. Janet Jackson always used to recreate herself, her look on each album. And that so deeply inspired me as I was coming up. And when I jumped into my artistry, I kind of had that Janet Jackson change it up with every album flow. When I did poetry, and then for poetry, I did songwriting and music and teaching artists and playwriting. Every single vision of me, I kind of thought of this is my new way of expressing myself. And then I got to coaching. And coaching is the way that I was able to bring it all together. You're like, wait, are you a singer at coaching? No, but the performer side of me is fed in coaching. The teacher is fed in coaching. The multimedia side of me with being able to share on social and the podcast and the side of me that feels so closely aligned to the messages I give you are given to me to give to you. And so I realized with every new turn, because people would be like, well, are you doing poetry anymore? Are you doing music anymore? Are you doing plays anymore? Are you teaching artists anymore? And there would be disappointment sometimes on their face. And I was like, no, I fully did that. I fully did that. And if I fully did it, then I don't want it to do it no more. Okay. So it's this idea of embodying something so much that when you decide you don't want to do it, you don't want to do it. Going back to the documentary, I loved Journey growing up. Steve Perry was the one person I really didn't recognize for some reason from Journey in the documentary. What an incredible angelic voice. But y'all know Steve walked away from it too. Steve said, I did this idea that he fully embodied his solo venture and journey so much that he was completely satisfied. That's what I want you to think about when you say, I am not going to give up on my plan A. And let me help out my international audience who's like, what the hell is a plan A and a plan B? Maybe I already do know. I don't know if this is something that translates culturally. I would assume it does, but let me not assume. Ask you, me. Um, your plan A is going to be the thing that you want, that you're going to go for. It's the number one thing you want to do. It is the thing that wakes you up. It drives you. It scares the living shit out of you, but it's more scary to think about not doing that. And then the plan B is like, well, if plan A doesn't work out, I can do this, and this. We've been taught this. We have been taught this, and I know some of you all will be like, well, if I had gone with my plan A, then I wouldn't have done this. Well, maybe your current plan you're on is really your plan A, and the plan B that you started out with, that you started out with your plan B and you got to your plan A. That can absolutely happen. What I want you to know is that you are worth going for whatever it is you want to go for, and for people to understand you or misunderstand you. At the end of the day, I know that we are all encoded with this plan A, this thing we have to do, and to do it is why we are here. So let me share a little bit more. And it's so funny. I talked to you all about that artist stuff. The reason why I even thought about the story, the reason why I even thought about my artistry journey, which, by the way, I'm always going to be a writer, is because I was at Barnes and Noble shooting the shit. One of my friends gave me for Christmas like a $5 gift card, and I went to Starbucks and got a matcha and was looking at magazines and stuff. And I walked by a book that I was published in. Y'all are going to want to know the name of the book. The name of the book is All the Songs We Sing, celebrating 25 years of the Carolina African American Writing Collective. And I wrote a poem about Emmett Till. It's called When I Consider the Open Casket. Friends, that book came out in 2020, 2021. I wrote that poem in 2008. So if I can find it on Amazon, I will link it. It's a lot of Black powerhouses in there. I will link it. And it's a Kindle version. It's a paperback version. I'll link it for y'all in the show notes. But when I walked past, I was like, wow, that was that former life of mine that I fully embodied. And I don't want to go back to. Like, I'm digging my plan A. I can look back on my life even when I was 12, reading James Baldwin and Maya Angelou and reading psychology books, that this coaching thing was really my plan A. And when I think about my dad who worked in psychology and human resources, my mother who was a teacher, I can even see their influence. My mom was also an incredible singer, artist, all of that as well. I got here via a plan B, and that's cool, but I arrived where I was supposed to arrive. So for some of you who are like, well, it was my plan B that really worked, I want to challenge you to think that it could have been you arriving to your plan A via your plan B. And this is what's so funny. There's no points off for that. But now that we're in midlife, we get to really reclaim our time, and we don't have to spend a lot of spinning out our wheels, doing all these different things. We can go direct to what we want. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. This podcast is for you if you feel like a waffle iron. Now, waffles are yummy on the breakfast table, but when it comes to making decisions, waffling creates a lot of stress. It's understandable. I get it. But y'all are like a fine aged wine now. Okay. Y'all been in the bourbon barrel for a long time. You now have all this accumulated experience and wisdom. You don't have to waffle anymore. You can commit to a decision you make and stay committed to that decision and follow it through until the end. Now, I don't bring y'all all my woo stuff on this because, my woo journey is my journey, and I'm still working through things. And when I decide to share it more, I will. But what I have learned about manifesting is that if I believe it, it must show up in this mirror we call life. If I 100% believe it and assume it is true, it must show up. And that to me is the commitment and the kissing cousin of commitment, the accountability. Like commitment is I'm doing it no matter what. I'm going to make it happen no matter what. And accountability is I'm going to hold myself responsible for what I say I'm going to do and the actions I say I'm going to take. I ain't talking about accountability as a punishment. I'm not doing that. Y'all, we're too old for that. We are too old for that. Trying to punish people. No, we don't punish people. We live our best lives. And we are open and willing if someone comes back or someone makes amends or apologizes. I have this saying now, no one gets written out of my life. No one gets written out of my life because I'm safety. And since I'm safety, I don't need to push people along, okay? Push people away. Of course, friends. Do you think I'm meaning this with people who have abused us? No, I'm not. I'm not talking about that. Redemption and reconciliation can happen in those areas too. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about can't nobody really piss me off enough where I'm like, fuck you. That's what I'm talking about. Fuck you for the rest of your life. Nope. That's what I'm talking about. Plan Bs. Plan Bs, where we're not going to apply them anymore. We're going to go plan A when we have a career change that we wanted. I know a person who was a teacher in her whole life. She wanted to be a minister of music. She is now a minister of music. We want a career change. We're going to plan A it. We want our weight loss. We're going to plan A it. We want a relationship to work that looks like it can't work, we're going to still plan A it. We want adventure, we're going to plan A it. But what if I get hurt? What if you don't? What if you don't? What if your grandest dreams come true? Now, if you're on the road to this and something else sparks you in the way that that original plan A did, and you stick with it and you really work through it and decide that's what you want to do, I support you. But plan A's and going for it are the exhilaration that some of y'all are looking for, and you try to find it in the bottom of a bottle, in the bottom of a coffee cup, in the bottom of your plate, in shopping, shopping, shopping. You want something that will blow your damn mind. A plan A will. A plan A will. I want to talk to you about one of my clients. Y'all know I'm a protective. And I'm not going to give you all the details. My client was in a relationship, and my client was certain that the relationship, like, was worried about it being over, didn't think the person, you know, saw them, understood them, was so angry. We began working together. Now, the client came to me originally for weight loss. But when y'all come to me for weight loss, you're just telling me there's something else that you're using food to deal with. And part of this was my client's feelings about their financial situation and my client's feelings about this relationship, my client's stress about children, all these things. Well, we went through and looked at everything. We looked at grief. We looked at grief that hadn't been processed. We looked and where it was snowballing in all the relationships. My client is my Instagram friend. My client and their person are absolutely in love. Absolutely, like, they just continue to talk about how in love they are. And I kind of laughed to myself thinking about how my client was like, I just don't know, this doesn't whatever. But my client changed their view. They changed how they saw things. They changed everything. And when they took and told a different story, then the love was there. That is a plan A. That is plan A in the hell out of your life. Literally plan A in the hell out of your life. Decided I'm going to stick with it until it becomes what I want it to be. Instagram hates me for this. If they wanted to, they would. They're making you second best. You know what? You start making yourself top billing, you put yourself on the pedestal, every relationship in your life changes. You decide that things are going to be different, everything changes. You love yourself the way you're loving somebody else, everything changes. That is what happened with my client. And everything changed, including the way that they looked at their relationship. You got to decide you're going to be in the percentage of people who get everything they want. Can you have it all? Yes. Will you have to be committed to have it all? Yes. Will you have to be accountable to have it all? Yes. Will you have to let go of shitball stories to have it all? Yes. Will you have to realize that safety comes from you? Yes. 2 podcasts to help you with this. Are you on the drama or empowerment triangle? Okay, I'll link it in the show notes. And rejecting rejection is totally possible. And I'm going to also link to Marissa Peer's appearance on Diary of a CEO. I just think she gets at this in a way that no one else does, how changing yourself changes everything. What if everything goes right? I want you to spend a minute and think about something you want so bad you can taste it. And you talk yourself out of it because your brain is designed to keep you safe. And for you to get the life you want, you're going to have to take some risk in that. Like you're going to have to decide, like, I'm going to go for it no matter what. Now, look, y'all don't be trying to come and sue me because you did something reckless. That's not what I'm talking about, y'all. I'm talking about that thing that will not let you go. What if everything goes right? What if you are in that percentage? And let me use weight loss as an example, because y'all might be thinking some big, crazy shit. And I'm just talking about like losing the weight you want and, going for the career change you want. 5% of people, 5% of people keep their weight off. And I'm in that 5%, that's why I could teach y'all about weight loss. I'm in that 5% who's never gained all her weight back and who has kept it off for years. Now, here's the thing. I'm a coach, y'all. If I want to do something, I'm going to see myself in the percentage of the people who made it. If it's a disease prognosis, I have a client who they talked about there's an 85% success rate in this particular surgery. If I am her, I'm going to put myself in that 85%. It's going to be no question. There is going to be no plan B when it comes to my success. And when I think that way, then when, interference, things come up that are telling me otherwise, then I can choose to tell them to fuck off, to ignore them, to get rid of them because I'm like, nope, I'm in that percentage. And in my brain, this is the reason why I talked about that episode of rejection is totally possible and that Diary of a CEO with Marissa Peers. She talks so much about letting go those images that are holding you back from seeing your life. She talks about affirmations and the power of seeing yourself different. That's what I'm talking about. A plan A requires you to see yourself as the winner, no matter what. Execution over emotions. Because you're going to waffle iron at times. You're going to waffle iron at times. But if you say, I'm going to keep doing these, and I have this methodology I came up with, just do 3. I'm going to just do these 3 things. I'm going to execute these 3 things, even though I feel scared if I'm going to do it. I'm not sure if it's going to happen. I'm just going to keep on doing 3 things every day or 5 days out of the week to make it happen. That is how you build your confidence. You build your confidence by not believing you're bullshit. That's how you do it. That is how you do it. I am on fire today. I'm on fire. So I've really been thinking about this. And I did a YouTube search. It is not a lot out there on this. That means this may be the book that I need to write. This is like book number 9. So I came across Jason Tatum, who plays for the Boston Celtics. Y'all, in my days when I was dating, If I had come across a professional athlete, the likelihood of me knowing who they were, unless they were huge, was very small. I had never laid eyes on Jason Tatum. But Jason Tatum talked about being at a camp or something. And I'll link to the short if I can find it on YouTube. And Kobe Bryant came. And Kobe asked the kids, like, what do you want to do when you grow up? Who do you want to be? And then he said, well, what's your plan B if that doesn't work? Because I used to do this with kids too, who said they wanted to be rappers and professional football players. And I'd be like, well, what's your plan B? Now, y'all, logically, it is okay to assess when you have a dream, like, I'm not going to go play for the WNBA. Okay. Like, but if I was 6'9" and I had played basketball my whole life and that's what I really wanted, then I would do that. Okay. But my version of playing for the WNBA is being an entrepreneur who works this amount of hours a week and who is able to have things that people can purchase and work through themselves and work with clients. Like we all have our version of playing for the NBA or the WNBA. Anyway, Kobe said to them, do not plan B. I never had a plan B. I knew I was going to play basketball. I knew I was going to dominate the game. How can you have a plan B if you believe so much in yourself and it's what you want? It's your plan A. The book that I think gets to this really good now that I'm thinking about it is Outlier, Malcolm Gladwell. I will put that in the show notes. I love all of Malcolm Gladwell's books. He also has a podcast. Look him up. But Outlier talks about those 10,000 hours of practice to become an expert and how you can kind of rig the system for your plan A. That's what we want to do. But the biggest rig of the system is your brain, getting you on board. Don't worry about getting the others on board, getting you on board and not thinking about it, but actually doing it. Doing it. I'm going to share this. There's this blog called The Strangest Loop. Nobody knows who it is. I respect the hell out of people in this influencer age who want to stay anonymous. So this person, I'm assuming I've heard the voice, I think, is a man. AI, I don't know. We'll just assume it's a man. So this person wrote the things that aren't doing the thing. And this is what execution isn't. But y'all need to hear this. If you want to have a plan A that knocks your damn socks off, you have to execute. But this is what execution isn't. Preparing to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Scheduling time to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Making a to-do list for the thing isn't doing the thing. Telling people you're going to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Messaging friends who may or may not be doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Writing a banger tweet about how you're doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Hating on yourself for not doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Hating on other people who have done the thing isn't doing the thing. Hating on the obstacles in the way of doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Fantasizing about all the adoration you'll receive once you do the thing isn't doing the thing. Reading about how to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Reading about how other people do the thing isn't doing the thing. Reading this essay isn't doing the thing. The only thing that is doing the thing is doing the thing. You got to do. You've got to put that to your plan A. Y'all, sometimes the reason why your plan A ain't working is because you ain't doing the thing. You ain't doing the thing. I will link to this so you can have this. Do the thing. Do the thing. It's not about you not being able to do the plan A. It's because you ain't doing the thing. You a waffle iron because you spending so much time and thought instead of doing the thing. Instead of doing the thing. Before we get out of here, because remember, I'm going to follow you right back up with the second part of this episode. By the way, all episodes are sponsored by my weight loss program for women over 40 called Half Life Weight Loss. let's hear a couple of words about why you should be half-lifing. Hey girl, hey, my name is Coach Kim, and I'm your last weight loss coach. More on that later. Yes, I've lost 65 pounds, and I'm living my dream of lasting weight loss, plus so much more. And I'm here to spill some tea. What if I told you it only takes watching these 13 videos and doing your workbooks to finally have lasting weight loss? Like weight melting off like ice cream while you eat what you like weight loss? Like being able to go in any store and pick up a pair of jeans or that red dress in your size, like not having to lose weight for an event. You're going to the event and everybody is talking about you at the event and how good you look. Body confidence on 10, friend. And having the most fun you've had in years while saving money, time, and stress. Sign me up, coach. Put me in, coach. Half-life weight loss is going to help you gain your whole self back. I got you. All right. Can't wait to see you on the inside. All right, we're back. If you want to know more about half-life weight loss, go to www.kimarrington.com/free weight class. Before we go, I didn't even give y'all a definition. I want to give you a definition of commitment because you have to be committed. You got to be committed. I'm telling you, if y'all want your plan A to work, if you can just be committed, execute over emotions, and be accountable. Let's talk about what commitment is. The state or quality of being dedicated to a cause, activity, similar words, dedication, devotion, allegiance, loyalty, faithfulness, fidelity, bond, adherence, attentiveness. The second definition, an engagement or obligation that restricts freedom of actions. Look, y'all know I love freedom. But I love this restriction of freedom. And what I mean by that is that it restricts you from not doing the thing, from going on a walk when you really should be doing this, you can go on the walk. Just do what you got to do before you go on the walk. Okay? Like it tells you, it gives you some boundaries around not deciding that there are other things more important than what you want. What you want matters. What you want matters. What you want matters. I think this is a good place for us to stop. In the next podcast, I'm going to give you like a bunch of things to do for you to make your plan A poppin'. Before we go, I'm going to give you an affirmation. Now, I want you to consider this. This is why I want you to come back next week and listen to the next episode. I want you to consider doing a 5-day or a 30-day no plan B challenge. That means you're going to choose one thing and you're going to decide that you're going to go all out. One thing you're not going to give up on, you're just going to go all in on it. For 5 days would change your life. 30 days would superbly change your life. I'm going to give you more about that in the next episode. So here's what our affirmation, I give you one every week. I want you to apply this to your plan A. Everything works out for me easily and effortlessly. Everything works out for me easily and effortlessly. Come back for the next part where I give you all these things of how you can engage your plan B. I ain't even gonna change my outfit. I'm just gonna click on and record it again. Okay, y'all come back next week. Y'all have a good one. Yay!
Are you feeling what you just heard? Good. Repeat after me. You don't have to figure it out on your own again anymore. I'm here to help. Head over to kimarrington.com and download my free video series dedicated to getting you feeling your best right now. Look around, there's some good stuff waiting on you. Got questions? Well, we're always talking on the socials, so find me on YouTube, Insta, and the book. Don't be shy, y'all. Go listen to another episode or join me here the same time next week. Finally, don't keep good shit to yourself. Share this with a homie that could use some help too. Remember, we're not lying to ourselves anymore. We're not lying to our doctors. And you damn sure don't lie to your life coach.